Hi guys, Kurt Provost here, your guide to all things NuSkin. It's time for a tutorial on how to move the galvanic body spa. If you have no idea what this device is, then check out this video first where I go into what it is, what it does, how it works, and how it can help you with things like cellulite, loose skin, stretch marks, and tightening and toning and sculpting your body. Perfect timing coming up to summer in the southern hemisphere here, and those in wintertime can emerge from winter with a completely sculpted and transformed body thanks to this cool little gadget. Now, how do you use it? Well, the basic instructions that come from the company, essentially you make sure your skin is clean, you make sure your skin is well hydrated and it has NaPCA moisture mist on it or some water on it, and then you apply the body shaping gel to the device, just on there. Spread it on the surface that you're going to be working on, depending on what body part, because you can use this device from the neck down. So pick your part that you want to work on. Just make sure you don't use it on the face. If you want to know why that is, then check out this video that I made on that topic. So once you have applied the gel, you turn it on and it goes for 5 minutes. You make sure your fingers are wet and they are touching these metal parts here like this, and then you move it in circular motion. So if you're doing it on your arm, that would look something like this, and you're just moving it around where you have the gel for the 5 minutes, and this will be bipping all the while to make sure that it's still got the connection. That's the way it tells you that it's still connected, and then it turns itself off, and that's it. You wipe that off and then you apply the dramatic effects and you're done. So that's the official method for using it. Let's tweak it a bit. Let's get a little more specific so that we can enhance the results. So step number 1 is to understand that the body has a lymphatic system and what that system is. So you are aware that we have veins running through our body, that there is blood being pumped by the heart through those veins, carrying nutrients and oxygen to different parts of the body. Super important system. Well, the lymphatic system has a similar reach to the circulatory system. However, it is like the waste disposal system. So where the circulatory system is bringing nutrients and oxygen, it's bringing supplies to the cells. The lymphatic system is taking away the waste from the cells. Now, the lymphatic system doesn't have a heart that is pumping through that system, so it relies on physical movement. It relies on the natural movement of our body to move the lymph fluid through it and to dispose of that waste. That's where there's a big issue, because that was totally fine when we were hunter and gatherers and we were constantly on the move, we were running, chasing down prey, we were very active. However, we are living sedentary lives, and increasingly sedentary lives, and that means we're sitting down, we're not moving a lot, and the lymphatic system is getting clogged up, it's getting congested, it's stagnating, it's not moving as freely, it's not flowing as freely as it used to. And just picture it this way to make it very graphic for you. It's as if you were taking the garbage from your household, and imagine that's a cell, and you take that and you sit it outside of your house to be collected by the garbage truck. But the garbage truck doesn't come for a couple of weeks or a couple of months. What happens to that waste that you keep piling up out the front of your house? Well, it causes a whole lot of issues. Same thing happens with your body. So check out this picture here that details the lymphatic system, and you'll get an idea of some of the centers for, let's just call it the waste collection centers, the waste disposal centers. And we're going to use the galvanic body spa to, number 1, stimulate the lymphatic system, stimulate a bit of lymphatic drainage, and direct and move some of that lymph fluid towards those waste disposal centers. So now that you're aware of the lymphatic system and its importance, let's move on to step number 1. That is, of course, take clear before pictures and measurements of the body part or section that you're going to use the body spa on. You do that because, well, quite often the results can be subtle, particularly if you're looking at yourself every single day and it's gradual improvements. It's really difficult to tell the difference unless you have that first photo, and then you've got one at a 2-week mark, one at 1 month, one at 2 months and 3 months and onwards from there. You will really notice the difference in that way. Also, the clinical trials demonstrated that people saw really visible differences around the 8-week mark. Before that, it was more the feeling of it, and there were some measurement changes and things like that, but it wasn't super noticeable. Unfortunately, a lot of people will give up. They won't be using it 3 times a week for those 8 weeks or so before the visible and noticeable results show up. So it's important to be measuring and monitoring as you're using it for that reason. Also, there's another reason, and that is that the body spa is covered by a performance guarantee, the age-lock performance guarantee. And that means that you use the product for 3 months, you order the gels that you use with it for each one of those months, and you use it in the recommended way, which is 3 times a week. For the 3 months, you take before pictures, take an after picture, and if there's no result, NuSkin will refund the cost. That is as close as it comes to a risk-free option for dealing with the parts of your body that maybe you're not so proud of. So, with that step done, let's move on to step number 2, which is you want to exfoliate the skin first. Now, the liquid body loofah is fantastic for that. It's a really soothing formula. It doesn't irritate the skin. It's pH balanced, and it also uses walnut kernels, or broken up walnut kernels, as the exfoliant, as the abrasive. And the reason why that's important is it gently exfoliates the outer layer, the dead, rough outer layer of skin, instead of other harsher synthetic abrasives that are often used in exfoliating products that can scrape or irritate the skin. So this one, you won't find that to be the case. It's very hydrating and softening for the skin. So the reason why you want to exfoliate first is, well, the outer layer of skin is dead skin, and it's all kind of broken and uneven, and if the microcurrent is trying to go through, it's going to be better if you've got the fresh, clean, smooth skin to start with. It's just going to flow a lot better. Doesn't have to work as hard to penetrate into the skin. So that is step number 2. Step number 3 is to make sure the area is moist and hydrated. So you use NaPCA moisture mist for that. You can use water, it's just this contains hyaluronic acid, a bunch of different types of hyaluronic acid, and so it is far more hydrating than water, and it will last a lot longer or keep the area moist for longer. And so you spray a bit on your hands as well, the hand that is going to be holding the device, making sure that the fingers are wet, and that way you can hold it on these metal side bits, just like this, and that will help conduct the electricity of your own body, and it will use the microcurrent coming out here as you move it around your body. So step number, what are we up to? 4. So you got step number 1 is take a picture, step 2 is to exfoliate, step 3 is to hydrate, step 4 is the body shaping gel. So you apply a decent amount onto the device. It depends on the body part that you're using it on. If you're just doing it on your arm here, then you're not going to need as much. You want to have enough so it will cover the whole area that you're working on and that it's not going to run dry. If you're not using enough of the body shaping gel, you may feel a little tingle or a pricking sensation as the microcurrent moves over the area, and that just means you haven't got enough gel as the buffer and it's not going to be working properly, because it's the ingredients in this that are really doing a lot of the work and being driven into the skin by the microcurrent. So they have to work together here. So once you've applied that and you smear it over the area, then you just hold that button and you start doing those circular motions that I spoke about before. So that's to stimulate everything, that's to get everything awake, let's just say, as those pulsating one-directional microcurrents drive the ingredients in there that help to break down the fat molecules, and the vibration or the pulsation of this current actually vibrates the water molecules and helps to break down the fat molecules because of the water molecules vibrating within them, and then moving that through the lymphatic system to be expelled. So it's a really cool process. It does a lot of the work for you. So that circular motion is totally fine. That's going to stimulate it. However, to get that enhanced result, you want to be driving that actively to those waste disposal areas. So if you're doing it on the arm, just keep in mind that those waste disposal areas all under the armpit there, kind of up here and here. So if you're moving it around, then I'm going to be bringing it towards. Everything is going to be bringing it towards. So as I move out, that's lighter, and bring in this way is a little more pressure. You don't need a lot of pressure, and I'll be bringing it there and just let it sit for a bit. And this will really stimulate the lymphatic drainage. So if you're doing it on your stomach, then you're going to be doing those circular motions. You can do it around the side to the love handle area. So I'll just stand up a bit. So, all right, so this is stomach around here, and that's my hip there. So I'll probably be starting here, working around, and again, working around, and then bringing it in. So you're going to be bringing it into the stomach, into the center there, and there's movements up here, because as you remember, the lymph nodes, and the lymph nodes are up here as well. So up there, down there, help with that V line, and then you're going to be moving it up to the lymph nodes, the waste disposal units all around here. So it's kind of, you're moving everything, you're loosening everything up, and then you're directing it and guiding it to where it is going to be released the best. The same principle applies with your thighs, with your legs. You're going to be moving it to the groin area, to that waste disposal area. Also, keep in mind that you want to work against gravity. So as we're standing up, gravity's pulling everything down. So keep that in mind. You're going to be pushing against gravity, so you're going to be pushing it up the legs rather than down the legs, up the stomach rather than down the stomach. So once you have completed the 5 or 10 minutes, if you do 2 sessions, ultimately you can go for as long as you want if you're just sitting in front of TV and doing it, but 5 to 10 minutes is enough. You don't really need to do more than that. Then you wipe it off with a damp cloth. Most of the body shaping gel will have absorbed in, particularly if you've done 10 minutes of a treatment. You probably needed to apply more. And if it dries out, because it will absorb in, and some people have very dry skin, so it'll absorb much faster, just apply more body shaping gel. It's no big deal, and keep the area hydrated with the NaPCA moisture mist. So once that is all dry, then you're going to wipe off any excess, clean it up, and then apply the final step, the 5th step, which is the dramatic effects. Now, I've created an entire video just about this product that you can check out here because it is awesome. You can use this every single day. You can use it multiple times a day whenever you're remembering, if it's morning or night or both, whatever works best for you. And what this does is provide that daily softening, daily hydration, daily smoothing of the skin. It has ingredients in it like hibiscus extract, it's got quinoa extract, there's honey in there, there's a bunch of different ingredients that are great for breaking down those little stubborn pockets of surface fat. So actually on that point, a lot of people are like, will it help me lose weight? No, the body spa is not designed to get rid of deep reservoirs of fat. That is where diet and exercise comes in. Mainly diet. It's your lifestyle choices that are going to be having that impact. But exercise, of course, has its role as well. What the body spa is doing is dealing with the surface layer of excess fluid and those surface layers of pockets of fat like cellulite that are quite difficult to deal with even if you are exercising frequently. So it is moving around the things that are possible to move around. A lot of weight and a lot of fat is on a deeper level, and therefore it requires a deeper approach. This is something that will complement the positive lifestyle changes that you are already making, and it will inspire you to continue to make those changes and make even more in the future. So Dramatic Effects is the daily aspect of this routine, and then using the body shaping gel with the body spa is 3 times a week step. So that means the routine will look something like this. Step 1, you take clear before photos and measurements. Step 2, you exfoliate the area. Step 3, you will hydrate and moisten the area. And step 4, you will be using the body shaping gel to provide the treatment. And step 5 is you will clean up the body shaping gel and you will apply the Dramatic Effects, and you are done. Do it in front of TV, watch a movie, get your partner to do it for you on date night, whatever it is that gets you into a routine with this. You will be extremely glad that you did it in 3 to 4 months' time when you've been doing it consistently, because the results will speak for themselves. Alright guys, my name is Kurt Provost. I am your guide to all things NuSkin. I hope you found that helpful. If you did, please like this video, hit the subscribe button, and be sure to turn on the notifications so you can be notified next time I create a video like this. Also, check out some of my other videos. I have many other videos related to how to use these products and learning about different aspects of NuSkin as a company, NuSkin with the science, NuSkin with the products, and NuSkin with the business as well. If you want to get your hands on any of the products that you saw in this video, you can do so through the links below, or just send me an email and I can create a more tailored package just for you. And if you're watching this and you think, you know what, that's an amazing device, and NuSkin has a ton of amazing devices, I would love to work with this because I know a bunch of people who would like to get their hands on this product, so why don't they get them through me? How does that work, Kurt? Who do I talk to? Well, you talk to me about it, because what you'll need is a sponsor. You'll need someone to help you in this business, help you get started, teach you the ropes on how to get out there and market these products and generate an income from them. That's exactly what I've done for the last decade now, and I love helping people all around the world to do exactly the same. So I'd love to hear from you if you don't have a sponsor already. All right, guys, that is it for today. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.